السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم، وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. Welcome to the Arabic classes for understanding the Quran. I will share my screen inshallah and we'll start our class. So we should all have the books now, have got access to the book. And as I said, it is highly advisable that every one of you start learning and memorizing words from the word list number 1 in the book. It is the list of the highly frequently used words in the Quran. So learning them and learning more vocabulary can really help you in your learning of Arabic. Okay. Last class was unit number 3, where we reviewed everything that we covered. We talked also about marfu', mansub, majrur, which is the nominative, the accusative, and the genitive cases. We talked about agreement between nouns and adjectives. We spoke about 100% agreement, and if we do not have agreement, what would that be? We looked at some examples where we have full agreement, and then we stopped at cases where we do not have agreement, and we said that in this case it will not be a noun and an adjective, it would rather be a subject and a predicate, which is a full sentence. I will review some of your homework before we move on, inshallah. Bismillah, let's see, Brother Osama. Not recent. Yes, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So we have this Quran, Muharram. Okay, I can't see the name for the person who sent this, but let's discuss it inshallah. So in Surah Al-Qari'ah, فهو في عيشة راضية. So the word عيشة, the expression عيشة راضية, pleasant life. Okay, name and adjective. I'm sorry, it seems that I'm allergic, alhamdulillah. So noun comes first and then the adjective. And here it is majrur, mashallah. 100% agreement. Both are female, singular, and indefinite. In addition, they are genitive. In Surah At-Tariq, إنه لقول فصل. So قول and فصل, noun and adjective. We have both are male, both are singular, both are indefinite, and both are marfu', nominative. Yes. So the word قول and the word فصل. So the word قول itself means word or speech, and فصل means decisive. And this lam at the beginning of قول, so the word is قول, starts with the qaf. This lam at the beginning means indeed. It's called lam التأكيد. So it's a lam that is used for affirmation. So it is not part of the next word. In Arabic, we overuse particles, what we call particles. A particle is part of a word or a letter or more than one letter which will be attached to another word. If we attach it to the other word, it doesn't mean that it is part of the word, but it gets it more meaning or a change in the grammar. For example, let's give some examples. Bismillah. If I say, for example, al-walad, which means the boy, right? So al-walad means the boy. If I min al-walad, this means from the boy. So we know that the word min means from. So like I took the book from the boy. So min means from. And the boy is al-walad. Now notice that al-walad, the boy, in English these are two words. The is a word and boy is another word. In Arabic, al-walad is one word, but it has got two parts. Al, which means the, and then walad, which is boy. So they are written as one word, but they are in fact two different functions. Al, which is for definiteness, and walad, which is the word that we are talking about. Now, if I say, let's say rather than al-walad, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allahu min Allahi. Okay, هذا min Allah. And then I say billah. So this b means by Allah. So the b is used to make a swear, for swearing. Say billah, but it is added to the word, it is attached to the word. So we call it a particle. So it's one letter here. So we call it a particle. In this case, this particle is a proposition that we can use. Other particles include letters that will be used for other purposes. Like for example, yara. This is a verb. And this course, we will not be dealing with verbs, but just to show this point. Yara means to see. Then if you add seen at the beginning here, this seen means well. Sayara. Allah will see your deeds. Sayara Allahu a'malakum. So the seen is a particle. It is one letter added to the next word to give a function, which is in this case to perform the future for the verb. Same thing is the word qawl, which means speech. Qawlun fasl. So if I would like to say indeed it is a decisive speech, then I say la qawl. This lam. This lam means indeed. And normally this lam will be added in a sentence where there is also inna. So there will be this other particle, but it is independent, called inna. Inna, which means indeed. And so inna, and in the same sentence you will have this lam. And if you return to the ayah, it says innahu laqawlun fasl. So here we have inna, indeed, and this ha means it is, and then this lam is here. So just to show you or explain to you why the word laqawlun fasl is not like noun and adjective. It has an added letter which is la at the beginning, which is for confirmation, and we call it a particle. Surah Al-Fajr, hubban jamma, immense love. Yes, both are male, singular, indefinite, and mansoob, accusative. We know that it is mansoob because of the two fathas, hubban jamma. When we said that if you have two dhammas, you place the two dhammas on the last letter. If you have two kasras, you place the two kasras under the last letters of each. If you have two fathas, in this case, you will place the two fathas on the last letter. If it is a ta marbuta, if it is not a ta marbuta, then you will add an alif to place the two fathas on. So حبا جما. So the alif here is added for placing the two fathas, and this only happens with mansub. And why we place the alif? Simply because when you stop, you will not stop at the meme. In fact, you will pronounce an alif. So you say حبا جما. So the word jam means intense. This a is the place where we added the two fathas. So Arabs, by default, in the time of Risala, in the classical Arabs, in the time of the revelation of Islam, they used to do this. Once they stop at the last letter. So they يقولون لقول فصل. So they will stop at the last letter. في عيشة راضية, the last letter. However, if there was tanween with two fathas, they will stop by adding an alif. So this is how they used to pronounce. So حبا جما. They will not say حبا جم. That's why the alif is added. In Surah Al-Ghashiyah, جنة عالية. Okay. MashaAllah. جنة عالية, both are female, singular, indefinite, and both are majroor. We have the two kasras. جنة and then عالية. If we stop, we will not pronounce the the tanween of the two kasras. So we say عالية, and we will not pronounce the ta. We reduce it to just a ha. عالية. If we continue, we say جنة عالية قطوفها. In Surah Al-Bayyinah, فيها كتب قيمة. Now this seems to be lots of speaking here. It is female, singular, indefinite, nominative. It is male, plural, indefinitive, nominative writing. Okay. So the word kutub means writings or books, and qayyima means valuable. Okay. This is a very interesting example. The word kutub is plural of kitab. Because it is plural of kitab, the singular, which is kitab, is male, which is right here, mashallah. And it is plural, so it is not singular. And it is indefinite, we do not have al. And it is nominative, because it has two dhammas. Now the word qayyima is singular, is female, while this is male and plural. Indefinite, both of them are indefinite. Nominative, both of them are nominative. So we have here this difference. This is male, this is female. This is plural, this is singular. So do we have 100% agreement here or not? What do you think, guys? Can anyone tell me what do you think about this? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, guys? Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. We can hear you. Yeah, Sheikh.
Yeah.
I missed 2 classes, so
Hmm.
I am a little bit short of that gas, but I think I am not in agreement with this because the 2 different
Hmm.
analogies. One is feminine, and the other one is is a male and a female. The 2
Yes.
different ones. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Jazakallah khair. Sister Arij, what do you think? Or any other of the brothers, Arfin or Yaqub? Okay. So in our last homework, we said that this case number 5 is optional if you would like to get it or not. So the person who did this homework, mashallah, they did a very fine job. So they say sentence that does not have agreement, and then they give this to us. Okay, let's analyze it in more details. فيها كتب قيمة. فيها كتب قيمة. So we'll just drop فيها because we are now after كتب قيمة. Okay. So we say that the word kutub is plural, which is right. It is plural. Second, it is male, which is right. It is male. And that it is indefinite, and that's right. It is indefinite. And that it is nominative. It has got 2 dhammas. It is nominative. So we have got now all the 4. We look at the 4 aspects, which are number, gender, definiteness, and case. Okay. Number is plural, not singular. And definiteness is male, not female. And definiteness, it is indefinite because it doesn't have al. And case, it is nominative because it has 2 dhammas. Excellent, this is great. Now the second word, we see that it is singular. So it is singular. It is female. We can see the ta marbuta, right? But it is indefinite and it is nominative. So they both have got nominative and indefinite, but they have these differences. Now you have to be extra cautious. You have to be extra cautious when it is plural. Why? Because we said that in the plural we have another thing to ask about. So we have 4 things that we always check: number, gender, definiteness, and case. If it is plural, we have to ask another question. And this other question is it human or non-human? Why especially in the plural we ask this question? Because in Arabic there is no difference between human or non-human in the singular. But when it comes to the plural, there is a difference. Okay? So here is the point. If it is human or non-human, this will make a very big difference. Now look at the word kutub. Is it human or non-human? What does the word kutub mean?
Non-human.
It is non-human. It means books or writings. Okay. So if it is non-human, then we refer to the rule for the non-human. Which pronoun would we use with the non-human plural? So this is a review now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Excellent. No, we cannot say home. Home, we use home only for the human plural male. So we have three plural pronouns. We have home, which is plural male human. We have honna, which is plural human female. And then we have hiya, which is plural non-human, regardless whether it is male or non or non-human or female. If it is non-human, then we use hiya, which means that this time we will not focus whether it is male or female, just focus whether it is human or non-human. It is non-human here. Okay, so if it is non-human, consider it to be singular female, simply because we use hiya, which is the same pronoun we use with singular female. In this case, the plural male here are just the superficial. This is the surface. This is not the deeper thing that we are after. So they are plural and they are male, but since they are non-human, these two are irrelevant. And we just say these are non-human plural. So we say these are non-human plural, which equals singular female. So non-human plural equals singular female. Now look again at the expression. We'll find that this is nominative, this is nominative. This is indefinite, this is indefinite. This is singular female and this is singular female because it is non-human plural. Here we have 100% agreement. So the fact that this is perfect agreement. كتب قيمة. There is no disagreement. The agreement is maintained. You see? You say, why is it important to look deeply when it becomes a plural? So all our examples, we had it singular. Because we have not studied the plural yet. I mean, we are giving examples and hints, glimpses on the plural and on the dual, but we have a certain class for the plural that we will have and a certain class for the dual that we will have. But the thing that we discuss together is the pronouns. Okay, so let's review the pronouns quickly with you for those who were not there. We have أنا for the speaker. Use أنا for the speaker. And then if we are two, I say نحن for the dual, and for the plural I say also نحن. So here is the number. This is first person or متكلم. متكلم means the speaker. Then we have, okay, second person will be here in the middle. So this is first person. This will be second person. And this will be third person. Sorry, not just first person. This is mufrad, which is singular. This is dual, and this will be plural pronouns. So I said أنا نحن, I, two of us, the three of us. And then we have هو. This will become هما, and this will become hum, which is they, male, plural. Then we have here, this will become huma, this will become hunna. Then we have anta, male, this will become antuma, and this will become in the plural antum. And we have anti for the female, this will become antuma, and it will become antunna for the female. Okay, so how many pronouns do we have? We have 15, but as we said, huma, for example, is not changeable whether male or female, and antuma is not changeable whether male or female, and all of these are for the human. Now if it is non-human, we will not be speaking to a non-human, so we will not be using the second person, and the non-human will not be speaking for itself, so we will not use the first person. We only look at the third person here, and the third person non-human we just use here, and we consider everything that is non-human as a singular female once we look for agreement. I hope you understand this. Jazakumullah khair. And Jazakumullah khair for the brother or the sister who submitted this homework. It gives us good food to think about. Kramakumullah. So the last case that you got is not a case of disagreement. It is full agreement, but from this perspective of being human or non-human. Okay? Inshallah, this is good for you. Are we good to move to another class today, inshallah? Are we good, guys? Should we move on?
Yes, please. I think we should move on. Yeah.
Okay, Jazakumullah khair. So unit number 4, unit number 4 is quite easy, and I like it the most of the whole classes in this level, because it is more relevant to the pronunciation and it is straightforward. So now we come to definiteness. So we spoke about male and female. We looked at the ta marbuta at the marker for the female. We looked at the cases, nominative, accusative, and genitive. Now let's look at definiteness. In another class, we will look at number, at the jewel, how the jewel is formed, at the plural, how the plural is formed. But today we look at the indefinite. So we say that the major marker of definiteness is if you add al to a word. So kitab is indefinite, a book, while al-kitab means the book, a definite book, a certain book. If you say ma'ida, this is a table. If you say al-ma'ida, the table or the banquet. Okay. Now look, once we added al to the word, its tanween was lost. You cannot have tanween and definiteness at the same time. We said that tanween is used, in fact, to emphasize that it is indefinite. So it is like an, but put at the end. So in English we say an apple, so we pronounce this n sound at the beginning, an apple. In Arabic we pronounce the n, but at the end of a sentence, so we say kitabun, ma'idatun, rajulun. So once you say on, this means that this is indefinite. You cannot say on and at the same time it becomes definite. So kitabun has got two dhammas, tanween. Once you add al, you lose the two dhammas and you return to the default, which is just one dhamma. One dhamma, you will pronounce it al-kitabu. And if you stop, you just pronounce it al-kitab. Ma'idatun. So we ended with saying ton. Once you add al, it becomes al-ma'idatu. Al-ma'idatu. And if you stop completely, you say al-ma'idah. You do not pronounce the dhamma, and this is a ta marbuta. Ta marbuta at the end of the word. Once you stop, you reduce it to a ha. So it becomes al-ma'idah, just like al-qari'ah. Okay, understand this? Are we good in this, inshallah? So I will add some more information to this. So definiteness in Arabic. Definiteness. Or let's say definiteness in Arabic means al-ma'rifah والنكرة. معرفة and nakira. The word معرفة comes from معروف and nakira comes from munkar. So are you familiar with الذين يأمرون بالمعروف, الأمر بالمعروف والنهي عن المنكر? Have you heard this expression? أمر بالمعروف.
Yes.
What does this mean? أمر بالمعروف والنهي عن المنكر.
Doing good deeds and then those who do the bad deeds. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, subhanallah. So literally, it means enjoining what is known to be good, and rejecting what is obscure, or what is denied, or what is desisted, or what is unknown to be good. So ma'rifa means known, from the verb arifa, known, and nakra means unknown. So the known and the unknown, al-ma'rifa wal-nakira. Simply, if you say just kitab, a book, this can be any book. If you say, I found a book, so you found any book, which means that it is unknown. Any book can fit. But if you say, I found the book, so you are referring to a certain book, a known book. Al-Kitab, this is a certain book, a definite book, a known book. Okay? So, subhanallah, the difference between al-nakira and ma'rifa. Without al, it means anything, so unknown. With al, it means a certain thing, which is the certain book. So at the beginning of Surah Al-Baqarah, Alif Lam Mim, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابِ. This is the book. This is not a book, it is the book, which is the right book, the true book revealed to you, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, from Allah. Kitab and Al-Kitab. Okay. So one way of definiteness in Arabic is to add al, and we use this like 80% of the time. 80% of the time. But there are other things that are definite by nature. Other things that are definite by nature, including the names. Names of people, names of cities, names of countries, names of continents. These are all definite without al. So if I say, for example, Antar, my name, this is definite. I don't need al. If I say Mecca, this is the name of a city, I don't need al. Canada, I don't need al. Okay. Afriqiya, a name of a continent, I don't need al. Um, Green Bank, a name of a street, I don't need al. Barhaven. All of these are definite simply because they refer to entities that are known. These are names. These are names. Ottawa, for example. So we have two types of definiteness. You can either make it with al or use the name. Third thing is the pronouns. All the pronouns are definite. Any pronoun is definite. So if you say ana, what is more definite than saying I? I'm referring to myself. Can't you see me? So ana or huwa or hum or whatever of the pronouns all are definite. Any pronoun is definite. Okay? If you say huwa Allah, he is Allah. قل هو الله أحد. So all of these are definite, معرفة, simply because these are pronouns. So names and pronouns are definite. So these are three types. Fourth type is the pointers. We call them the demonstratives. Demonstratives, these are the pointers. We have some examples of these like هذا, هذه, ذلك, تلك. All of these are also definite simply because you use them to refer to something. So when you say هذا الكتاب, this book, so you are referring to a certain thing. So these are the pointers or the demonstratives. So we have now four types of definite, having al, names, pronouns, pointers. Then the fifth type is relative pronouns. So we said all pronouns, this is relative nouns. These are nouns, but they are relatives. I mean, we will study them inshallah in details, but you are familiar with some of them, which is الذي, التي. So الذي and التي means who or that. These are also definitive. Yes, definite words. Words that are definite. There is a sixth way of definiteness. We will not talk about it today, but just to know about it, it's called إضافة. إضافة is the last lesson we will study in this level. So we'll explain it in details, inshallah, once we come to إضافة. But just to give you the whole idea that in Arabic we have 6 ways of making an indefinite word a definite word. The easiest and most common of them is just to add al. Another way is to give the name of the thing, or to use a pronoun, or to use a pointer, or to use a relative noun, or to make idafa. We said that once you add al, you cannot keep the tanween. Once you add al, you cannot keep the tanween. Okay, because tanween is a marker of indefiniteness. However, However, so this is important. However, if you are using the name, you can add tanween. You can add tanween. In this case, tanween will not mean indefiniteness. Tanween will make respect or emphasis. So you say in the adhan, أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول. Now if you look at the word Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the word Muhammad is a name. If it is a name, then it is definite. If it is definite, so why we put tanween? Yeah, tanween here is not used for indefiniteness. It is used for respect and for emphasis. We cannot keep tanween and al, which is just one way of definiteness. But we can keep tanween and the name. We can keep it. And in this case, it's another use of the tanween. Tanween can be used for many causes in Arabic. This is just one of them, which is indefiniteness. This is another one, which is affirmation and respect. Okay? I hope that you understand this, inshallah. So the book tells us about al, which is just one way of making definite words. But the slide here gives you other ways of doing it and explains why we sometimes have a name with a tanween, which is okay to have it because it does not refer to indefiniteness. Okay. Now, you might have noticed that when we add al, the pronunciation will become different. So, if we look at these two examples, what is the word for the sun?
Walad.
What can you say that again?
Walad.
No,
Sun.
the sun, not
Oh,
your sun, the sun in the sky.
Shams.
Okay, Shams. Should I
Ash-Shams.
say Shams or al with al?
I think for definitiveness, we have to say Ash-Shams.
Okay, that's right. Excellent, mashallah. So Ash-Shams. What is the moon? So what is the moon? Now we are testing your vocabulary,
Qamar.
guys.
Qamar.
Al-Qamar. Okay. So we are adding al and saying Ash-Shams and Al-Qamar. So we have the word Shams. Remember, we had the word Shams before. We said that this is feminine by nature. It doesn't have a ta marbuta, but it is feminine. It is one of the words that are feminine without adding a ta marbuta. This is the lesson where we had the feminine words. And we said that some words that are learned individually include first sun, Shams. Okay? So the sun is female. Okay. So now we are adding al to the word Shams. Al-Qamar is not one of these words, so it is male. So Al-Qamar in Arabic is male. Both words have got al, but with a Shams, we do not pronounce the lam fully. So we say ash, ash, ash-shams. We do not say al-shams. This is not correct. We say ash-shams, ash-shams. So the lam is dropped. So it's written as a lam, but in pronunciation we drop this lam. While if we pronounce it with al-qamar, we fully pronounce it. We say al-qamar, al-qamar. So ash-shams and al-qamar. Okay, subhanallah. In the Quran, in the written Quran, printed Quran, scribes of the Quran will make it easy for us. The lam that is pronounced will have a sukoon upon it. The lam that is not pronounced will have nothing, will be bare, will have nothing. Okay, let's look at Surah Al-Shams to see how this is presented. Bismillah, Surah Al-Shams. Where is Surah Al-Shams? This is Surah Al-Shams. Now look, even at the English transliteration, you will find here Al-Fajr, Al-Balad, Al-Layl. But when you come here, you will not see Al-Shams, you will see Ash-Shams, Ash-Sharh, right? Az, Zalzala. Why are these guys making Az and Ash? Why don't they just put Al? Yes, they have put Al, but this is the pronunciation. Okay, if we look at Surah Al-Shams, look at how Al-Shams is written. We'll see that there is a fatha on the waw, wa. Then there is the small sad on the alif. There is nothing at all on the lam. So the lam is left without anything. And this is a basic rule in all the Quran transcription. If a letter is bare without any haraka, without anything around it, then this letter is dropped or reduced. Dropped or reduced. So this is the first sign that we know about this lam, that it will be dropped because it is bare. The second sign is that, subhanallah, because it is dropped, the next letter will take longer time to compensate for the dropped letter. So always the next letter after this lam will have a shadda. Shadda, this means that it has been doubled. So it takes longer time to pronounce. So we say washams. So we do not say washams, washams. No, we do not say this. We say washams, washamsi, washams. So we got longer time in pronouncing the sheen because now it is taking the time of the dropped lam. والشمس وضحاها. Now look at the next ayah. والقمر. Oh, this is different. We do not have any shaddas here. So the waw has got a fatha. This alif has got a small sad. And the lam here has got a full sukoon. In the first class we said that this is the way of the sukoon in masahif. A small head of a kha or a ha. This is the marker of sukoon. And this means that this lam is fully pronounced. And this means that any other letter that follows will be just normal. والقمر 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 إذا تلاها. So while we have والشمس والشمس وضحاها, we have والقمر إذا تلاها. So as you have noticed, this lam is different from this lam. And while we have good markers in the Mus'haf that tells us when to pronounce it and not and when not to pronounce it, it will be a problem if you do not have the Mus'haf, if you are reciting in Salah, if you are reading the Salah, because you are not having the book in front of you. And you cannot remember all the harakat. Once you memorize, you will not remember the harakat. So why is this lamb behaving in this way and that lamb is not behaving in the same way? So early Arab grammarians noticed that some words have got this lamb that is dropped. So they called them the sun letters. The sun letters. And others, when the lamb comes closer to them, it will have no effect. So they call them the moon letters. So in Arabic we have some sun letters and some moon letters. The sun letters are the letters that when they come after al for definiteness, the lam will be dropped. The moon letters are the letters that when they come after al, they will make no difference and the lam will be maintained and fully pronounced. So this is the meaning of the sun letters and the moon letters. So what are these sun letters? What are these moon letters? And how we identify them easily? We will learn about this inshallah after we have a short break for 10 minutes. So it is now 11:55. We come at 12:05 inshallah. Okay? جزاكم الله خير. السلام عليكم. Assalamu alaikum. We are back.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Can all the other brothers and sisters hear me, inshallah?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Okay. So we said that we have the sun letters and the moon letters. And we are adding L to the words. Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We are here in this lesson number 4. Okay. So before we say what are the sun letters and the moon letters, we just make a note that once you have a word that has got L for agreement, the adjective will also have L. So if you say Al-Quran, Al-Quranul Azim. So this is singular, this is singular, this is male, this is male. It has got a Dhamma nominative, this has got a Dhamma nominative, this has got L definite, this has got L definite. Which means that once you have a word that is definite, a noun that is definite, the adjective also should maintain this agreement by having definiteness. الصراط المستقيم من سورة الفاتحة اهدنا الصراط المستقيم الشيطان الرجيم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Okay. If it is female, the same thing will be there. Say الموعظة الحسنة. موعظة is female, حسنة is female, موعظة has got L, الحسنة has got L. We said that sometimes the female will not have a ta marbuta, but it is genuinely female because it is one of the accepted words. So the agreement will keep the feminine marker. So we say النفس المطمئنة. نفسه is singular, مطمئنة is singular, النفس has got L, المطمئنة has got L, النفس has got a ضمة, المطمئنة has got a ضمة, النفس is female without a ta مربوطة, مطمئنة will be female with a ta مربوطة. We add a ta مربوطة to maintain the agreement. الدار الآخرة, same thing, the word dar, the word نفس are female without the ta مربوطة, and that's why we said that you need to memorize these words. You need to memorize words every week. Okay. Now we come to the question of what are the moon letters and what are the sun letters. So the Arabic language, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it the moderate language. So we have 28 letters in Arabic. 14 of them are sun and 14 of them are moon. The 14 letters that are sun are the ta, the tha, dal, dal, ra, zain, sin, shin, sad, dad, ta, dha, lam, and nun. And the 14 that are moon are the rest. So you don't need to memorize both lists. You can memorize just one list, and then if the word is not in this list, it is a moon letter. This is one way of doing it, one way of looking at it. So there are easier ways. We will look at easier ways, inshallah, but let's have some examples. So the book says that if a word starts with a ta and you add a lam, this will be a sun letter. Sun letter means that it will behave like the word ash-shams. So we have a word like at-taqwa. Taqwa, which is all of us need. التقوى. Taqwa starts with a ta. And then we added alif and lam. Is a sun letter, the whole like a shams, so the lam will not be pronounced. Other, this ta will be doubled. So how will you pronounce it? You guys, are you here? Will you pronounce it al-taq?
التقوى. التقوى.
I need to hear your voice. At-taqwa. Excellent. MashaAllah. So the lam is dropped. Why is that? Because the ta behaves like the sun letters. The sun letters. And why are they called the sun? Because they behave like the word ash-shams. The ta, the tha, the dal, all of these. So we just got one example. So I will give you two other examples. So we'll take a word with sin. And this time we'll take an example that is not in the Quran, in Arabic. So have you been to Arabia before? Or done Hajj or Umrah? The name of the country is Saudi. Saudi. The sin has got shadda. And so the lam is dropped. People do not say Al Saudi. I went to Al Saudi. I went to S Saudi. S Saudi. If Saudi Arabian lived in Saudi Arabia for some, you may have visited Bahrain. Now, Bahrain in Arabic is Al Bahrain, which means that this lam is moon. The lam is a moon letter in Al Bahrain. So these are two countries.
Yeah, Fantar.
S Saudi, yes.
I think we have lost the video. Not getting any of the. I can hear you. I mean, myself and Yahya are both here, but we cannot see the video and cannot see the words and stuff. Maybe it's only. I think the problem maybe is only limited to us, but not the others. I'm not sure. You could see this now. Okay, Jazakallah. Yeah.
Okay, so I reshared. So maybe just need to reshare. Okay, can you see it now, inshallah? Alhamdulillah. So I'm saying that the word as-Saudiya and the word al-Bahrain, between Saudi and Bahrain, there is a bridge that links them together. But the word Saudiya has got the lam that is dropped and the sin with a shadda because it is a sun letter. And al-Bahrain has nothing of these. So the lam is fully pronounced. Okay. Now let's see some other ways of looking at these letters. So we said that these letters are the sun. So you can memorize these letters. So any word that starts with any of these letters, this will be a sun letter. And so the lam will be dropped. Another way of looking at this is different and is easier, in fact. Okay, let me get you the Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So looking at this example, just to give you how they are pronounced. Okay. I don't know why the internet is not good today, but I mean, inshallah, it will be easy now. Don't record this. I think we can read it. It takes a longer time. To download, subhanallah. I don't know why it is so difficult to download. Now this is the picture that I was trying to show you. Here we have examples of اللام الشمسية. We said that ta, like التقوى, also التفاح, apple. ثا الثياب, دا الدودة, ذا الذرة, الذاريات, for example, in the Quran. را الريشة, زين الزهور, سين السكين. In all of these, the lam is not pronounced, it's dropped. Examples for al-lam al-qamariyya, the moon lam. Fa al-finjan, qaf al-qalam, say noon, wal-qalam ma yasturun. Kaf al-kursi, mim al-milh, salt. Ha al-haram, the pyramid. Wow al-warda, the rose. So while the flowers, az-zuhur, the rose al-warda. Ya al-yad. See, these are examples of how the lam shamsiya is pronounced, the lam is dropped, and how the lam qamariya is fully pronounced. Now we say that you can either memorize these letters, or another way is to use an anagram. What's an anagram? An anagram is a statement. This statement have got some letters in a way that will help you memorize it. They are called also mnemonics, which are things that will make you remember. And we can either make it for al-ahruf al-qamariya or al-ahruf al-shamsiya. So scholars of Tajweed made it easy for us by giving us this expression. So let's look at this expression in more details. They said, ابغي حجك وخف عقيمه. 4 words. But these 4 words are a full sentence, a full statement. And the meaning is, beware of your hajj. Be mindful of your hajj. and do not spoil it. So be mindful of your Hajj and do not spoil it. Okay? If you are going to Hajj, you'll find many hardships and many moments that you lose your temper and that you become angry and you would like to haggle and you would like to argue with people around. And so لا جدال في الحج, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, no argument in Hajj. So the statement says, be mindful of your Hajj, do not spoil your Hajj, and do not spoil it. Okay, so in fact it is a good meaning. But more important than the meaning is that this sentence has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 14 letters. And these 14 letters, in fact, are the ones that we use for the moon letters. So each letter of these is one of the moon letters. So all the moon letters have come into one statement. If you know this statement, then you will know all the moon letters. Which means that if you have a word that has got L and you are not sure whether the lam will be pronounced or not, then you just recall ابغ حجك وخف حقيمة. So if the first letter of this word, one of these letters, if it is, then pronounce the lam. If it is not, then do not pronounce the lam. So for example, if we have the word, this warda, and we have here al, should we pronounce it al-warda or should we pronounce it aw-warda? Arabs, native speakers, find no difficulty in this because by default they are born to this intuition into the language. So in fact they do not spend a long time into this lesson because they just try to pronounce it and they always pronounce it at home and it comes true. But for non-natives, you will never be sure whether what you pronounce is true or not. You need to refer to the rule. So the question that we ask ourselves is, we look at the first letter of the word. So we have here this waw. Is waw here in this statement? Yes, we have the waw here. If we have the waw here, then go ahead and pronounce the lam, because this is an anagram for all the moon letters. All the moon letters, so they should be pronounced al-warda. Al-warda. Okay, now if we have another word like Tur, so the mountain Tur in Sinai, you will add al. So should we pronounce it al-Tur or at-Tur? We do the same thing. We look at the first letter, which is ta, and we look at this statement, ابغ حجك وخف عقيمه. Do we have a ta in all of these? No. Ta is not mentioned here. If ta is not mentioned here, then it is not one of the moon letters. If it is not one of the moon letters, it is a sun letter. If it is a sun letter, we should first double it, because the lam will not be pronounced. And so we pronounce it at-tur, at-tur. And the surah starts with wat-tur wa kitabim mastur. So the Quran doesn't say wal-tur, no, not wal-tur, but wat-tur, wat-tur. So in fact this statement, ابغ حجك وخف عقيمه, is really important because it will be your key the key for you to identify whether a word will have full lam قمرية, so you pronounce the lam, or you do not pronounce it. ابغ حجك وخف عقيمه. Okay. ابغ حجك وخف عقيمه. Some people will find this difficult to remember, so there is another way of doing it. So just playing with the letters to form another sentence. Another sentence which is easier, I mean, for Arab children that they remember, is أخوك جحا. The word جحا is a name of a funny character in Arabic literature. It is like the fool, the wise fool. So أخوك جحا, your brother جحا, غبي is stupid. قف معه, be with him, stand with him. أخوك جحا غبي قف معه. So in fact these are the same letters that are in ابغ حجك وخف عقيمه. The only thing is that the alif is repeated. So we have here أخوك, we have an alif, and جحا we have an alif. So it is repeated, and no problem in that. It is just trying to make as many of the meaningful combination of letters together. So whether you remember ابغ حجك وخف عقيمه or أخوك جحا غبي قف معه, both of them are letters that are moon, the moon letters, which means that whether this one or this one, it does not have any of these letters. These letters are not at all mentioned in these statements. But one other interesting thing is that with these letters, these are the sun letters, the lam is dropped. The lam is dropped, okay? Remember, the lam is dropped, including the lam. Including if a word starts with the lam and then you add al, then the lam of al is dropped. So what happens to the other lam? The other lam will be doubled. So we'll end up with 3 lams, but we will be pronouncing 2 of them. So one example is here. If I have the word layl, what does layl mean? What's layl?
Night.
Night, that's right. Layl starts with lam. Now if I would like to say the night, I will say al and then layl. So I added al to a word that starts with lam. I added al to a word that starts with lam. So what happens here is that this lam of al is dropped, and this lam and after al is doubled, shadda. And so we pronounce it al-layl, but the lam that we are pronouncing is in fact not the lam of al, it is the lam of layl, the 2 lams of layl. Al-layl, al-layl, and this is the way we write it in standard Arabic. In standard Arabic we write it in this way: 2 lams together, one of them is dropped in pronunciation, the second lam is 2 lams, so the fact is that we end up by 2 lams anyway, and so we pronounce it al-layl. In the Quran, however, it is written like this. Why is it written like this in the Quran? Because the Quran transcribers, they do not like to have 2 letters of the same type next to each other. So Surah Al-Layl here. In fact, here we have وَاللَّيْلِ وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَغْشَاهَا. So look here. We have wa with a fatha. This alif has got a sad, and this lam has got a shadda, which means that this lam is in fact the lam of layl double. So where is the lam of al? It is dropped from pronunciation, and it is dropped even from writing. And as we said, this is only in the Quran transcript. But in standard Arabic, we keep it there, but we do not pronounce it. So this is one interesting thing that we know about this letter especially. Okay. So I gave you one statement for the moon letters. You don't need another statement because any letter that is not in this statement will be a sun letter. However, there are scholars of Tajweed. The scholars of Tajweed made another statement for the sun letters. So if you are interested, you can also try the sun letters statement. And any letter that is not in this statement will be a moon letter. So I'm trying to remember what was the the statement. Okay, let me get it from here. Yes, this is the one. Okay, so this is another expression that the scholars of Tajweed did to us. Okay, in fact, this is a line of poetry, and this seems to be lots of words. So while ابغ حجك وخف حقيمه were 4 words, this seems to be lots of words. Yes. So this is pronounced طب طب ثم صل رحما تفز دع سوء ظن زر شريفا للكرم. So before we know the meaning of this, we say that not all of these letters are sun letters. This is a different way of anagram. They tell you take the first letter of each word. The first letter of each word only is the sun letter. So not everything, but only the first letter of each word is the one that is sun. So rather than making a sentence with all the letters together, they decided to make this line of poetry, which has got the first letter of each word to be a sun letter. Okay, so if you use this one, just be mindful that not all the letters are sun letters, only the first letter of each word. Now we look here, we see that these include the ta, the tha, the sad, the ra, the ta, the dal, the sin, the dha, the za, and the shin and the lam. These are the sun letters, but from a different point, which is only the first letter of each word. While here, all the letters included are moon letters. So if you prefer this one, just learn this one, and any letter that is not here is a sun letter. If you prefer this one, just remember that only the first letter of each word is a sun letter, not everything. Second thing is to look at the example that we have in this lesson, inshallah. So who would pronounce number 2, please? Sheikh Abdul Nasser.
Yeah, so Bismillah ar-Rahman, هو الغفور الودود.
هو الغفور الودود. ما شاء الله. What do you think of the lam here? Is it a moon letter or a sun letter, the letter that come after them?
Well, since we are pronouncing as al, there's a moon letter. Yeah.
Yeah. And what about the second word?
Yeah, the second one also al-wadud. So
Yes,
it's a moon letter.
that's right. Yeah. So as Sheikh Abdul Nasser said, if you pronounce it, then it is a moon letter. This is one sign. Another sign, if it has got a sukun, both of them has got sukun. You can see the sukun above it. So it is a moon letter. Third thing, if you quickly recall the statement, ibgh, ibgh, so it has got a ghain. وَخَفَّ عَقِيمَهُ, so it has got the waw. وَهُوَ الْغَفُورُ الْوَدُودُ. An agreement in a word, if a word that has got al, the second one should have got al, but you do not have to maintain whether it is moon or it is sun, because it all depends on the word, the letter that starts the next word. Sheikh Yaqub, number 3.
Yeah. ذلك هو الفضل الكبير.
Okay. What do you think of the alif lam in the words here? Are they moon or sun?
No. Yeah. Do is here. No. No sun letter.
No sun letters, so they are
Yeah.
moon. Just like Al-Ghafur al-Wadud, we have this sukun, we have this sukun, we still have this sukun Al-Fadl, we have this sukun Al-Kabir.
That's it.
جزاكم الله خير. Sheikh Arfin, number 4.
اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. In this case, Soa is a sun letter.
That's right.
So we have a Dhamma.
Yeah, we have to drop the lam here in pronunciation. So we say ihdinas sirat. So as if we are moving from this alif to this sad directly. Ihdinas sirat. And the lam is dropped because this is a sun letter. And because this is a sun letter, it takes longer time to place, to accommodate for the lam that is dropped. اهدنا الصراط. While al-mustaqim, what do you think of al-mustaqim?
This is a moon letter, mim. So the lam should be pronounced.
That's right. Al-mustaqim. So you see here that the agreement is to have alif lam and another alif lam, but it doesn't have to be both of them moon or both of them sun, because it all depends on the letter after the lam. So it's okay to have one word that has got a sun letter with the lam dropped, and the adjective has got a moon letter with the lam maintained, because the agreement is just on having the alif and lam, not in the pronunciation. But the pronunciation is important for recitation of the Quran. Okay, Jazakumullah khair. Who is next, brother or sister? I don't know if Sister Arij, can you unmute yourself now, or are you still struggling with this? Okay. So let me see, inshallah. When I'm sharing my screen, I cannot see the drops. Okay, brother Ahmed. There is another brother. Cannot remember his name. I don't see the list of names now. Okay. Look at number 7. Who would like to pronounce number 7?
Yeah.
I can do number 7. I'm with my father here. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, go ahead.
عن النبأ العظيم. عن النبأ العظيم.
Yeah, عن النبأ العظيم.
The first one
what do you think?
is الشمس.
Yeah, it is شمسية.
And the second is al-qamari.
Okay, mashallah. So the first one, this noon is شمسية. And the second one, this ain is قمرية. So we drop the lam here, عن نبأ, and it is left bare. And العظيم, now we pronounce this, عن النبأ العظيم. Okay, mashallah. Okay, so I think you can do the rest at home. So you can pronounce the rest, inshallah, at home. Maybe we take the last one because it is interesting to have all of these in one place. So who would like to pronounce the last one, number 15? Sheikh Yaqub?
Yes, I will try, but very slowly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wattabini wal.
And just a moment. There is no ba in the first word.
Watta'ini.
Wattini.
Watta'ini.
No, wattini.
I see, sorry, yeah, wattini. Wattini was zaytuni. Zuri.
This is not a za, this is a ta.
Waturi sinina wa hazal baladil.
Okay, mashallah. وهذا البلد الأمين.
Amin.
What do you think of a teen?
Teen it's a sun letter.
That's right. A teen, the fig. What teen? So we do not say well teen, we say what teen. What do you think of a zaytun?
It's a sun letter.
Sun letter. So we say was zaytun. So the lam, in both cases, the lam is not pronounced. Okay. Now what about this word? How do you pronounce it?
Balad. No. Balad.
Al-balad. Okay. What do you think of the
Hazal balad? Hazal. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So al-balad has got alif and lam.
Yeah. Ba is a moon letter.
Moon letter. That's right. So remember, ibghi hajjaka ib. So ib. The ba is there at the very beginning. Ib. The ba is there. وهذا البلد. So the lam is pronounced. وهذا البلد. Okay, mashallah. One last thing to know before we leave, inshallah, is the word at-teen is very similar to word ad-deen. So at-teen and ad-deen, and may also be at-teen. So 3 different words. The 3 different words that most, let's say, okay, anyway. So these 3 different words, at-teen. This word, after the lam, it starts with a ta, and the ta is a sun letter. This one starts with a dal, and the dal is a sun letter. And this one starts with a ta, and the ta is the sun letter. So all of them start with the sun letter, which means that the lam will be dropped in all of them. But the problem is that as non-native speakers, you tend to confuse them. So in Surah Al-Fatiha, Maliki Yawmiddin, this word, Maliki Yawmid, id, Maliki Yawmiddin. Okay. So some people would reduce the dal into a ta. And they will say Maliki Yawmiddin, Maliki Yawmiddin. This is not correct. In fact, this can invalidate the whole prayer, because it means the sustainer or the owner of the day of fig, while it means the day of the judgment. Maliki yawmid id-din, not a teen, but ad-din. Maliki yawmiddin. While in Surah At-Teen, the fig we say والتين والزيتون. التين. The last word is الطين. So طين, the last word means clay. So a human being was created from clay. So you cannot, I mean, this ta does not exist in English. So you have the T letter in English, but you do not have the to, which is the heavy one, stronger one. So people would also reduce it and say that the human being was created from tin. No, he was not created from fig, he was created from tin. Tin is clay. So at-tin, at-tin, and ad-din. So it's important that you take some time at home to practice all the three of them.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and also maybe it's a good idea to listen to one of the mashayikh pronouncing this. So if you have the app, the Quran app in your mobile phone, you can like mark the word and then listen to the reciter pronouncing it to make sure that you get it right. At-teen is different from ad-din, is different from at-teen. And all of them are sun letters, as we said, and so the lam is dropped on all of them. Okay. One other thing is Arabs, some nationalities of the Arabs, although they are native speakers, sometimes they make a mistake when the word starts with the jim, like al-jibal. Al-jibal. This al-jibal means the mountains. This jim is in fact a moon letter. Remember, we said ibgh hajjaka, so the jim is part here, hajjaka. And although it is a moon letter, which means the lam should be pronounced, they tend not to pronounce the lam. I say Arabs do this, and this is not correct. They are just influenced by their local dialects. So they will say وَالجِّبَالَ أَرْسَاهَا, and this is not correct. They should say وَالْجِبَالَ أَرْسَاهَا. وَالْجِبَالَ أَرْسَاهَا. So especially with the jim, you may tend to think that this is a sun letter, so I drop the lam, but it is not. It is a moon letter, and the lam should be very clear. وَالْجِبَالَ أَرْسَاهَا. So I hope that you understood today's class. You need to practice it for long once we finish. And your homework, your homework is to make a list. You make a list of 28 words. 28 words, one example for each of the 28 letters in Arabic. So 14 words that have got al-Qamariya, which is moon letter after al, and 14 words that have got al and then Shamsiya letter following al. And all have to be from the Quran. So it's a long list, but it is an important list to check and test every letter of the Arabic alphabet. So you can refer to this list of the sun letters. Once you finish these, you refer to this statement of the moon letters that has got the letters of the moon, and then you search for words in the Quran and you make a table. One side will be Lam Shamsiya, one side will be Lam Qamariya from the Quran, and let's see if you got all of them right, inshallah Rabbil Alamin. Okay, you understand what you're going to do? Okay, Jazakumullah khair, and see you inshallah next week. May Allah accept. Keep well.
جزاك الله خير.
Assalamu
السلام
alaikum wa
عليكم
rahmatullah.
ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Jazakumullah khair.
وعليكم السلام.